Okay, so in Wunderbuild, how we can add markup to the job is in a couple of ways. The most common way that I find and the easiest way to do it is with this options menu button here at the top, or you can add a global markup. So if you click edit global markup, you can see you can add the markup to this area here. And in this estimate, I've added a 25% markup, and that's just applied across all the costing items. And it adds it at the bottom here to give you your grand total contract price, or what you're going to go into tender with. So where that can slightly fall apart, however, is that this markup is then applied to every single line item in this estimate. And then sometimes, depending on the project or the particular cost item, you may want to remove markup from that cost item. So in this example, I want to remove this $750 markup that's been added to this $3,000 insurance cost item from the estimate. So how do you do that if you've applied the markup to the whole job? It's pretty simple, and I'll show you how we work that out based on the margin. So I've just got this calculator open here, so you can see that if we want to work out the margin on a markup, in this calculator it works it out automatically. But if I've got a 25% markup, you'll see it's calculated that it's a 20% margin. And conversely, if you've added a 20%, or if you want 20% to be the margin that you're applying to your projects, you can see that you need to add a 25% markup to the actual estimate. So the most basic explanation that I've come up with to explain it is that the markup is the extra percentage that you're going to add to your cost price to cover for the running costs in your business. So you're adding a markup to your hard costs, and then what's left over after that is your margin, which is your true net profit figure. So that's the easiest explanation I've found, and I found that makes sense in my mind when I'm trying to understand the difference between markup and margin, which can be a bit confusing, but they work hand in hand, and the formula always holds, which is why I've got this little calculator just to know the difference and see the difference between the two percentages when I'm applying a markup to a job, to understand what the actual margin is. So in this instance, I've got a 25% markup. That gives me a 20% margin, as can be seen here and in this row here from this calculator. And just going back to this costing line item here, so this was a $3,000 insurance cost, and with that 25% markup, it gave us a total price of $37.50. So if I want to now zero that out again to get it back to $3,000, all you need to do in Wunderbuild is go to that particular item. We go to edit, and here we're just going to put a minus 20% being the margin figure, and you can see that zeroes it back out, or takes away that $750 markup to get it back to our cost price. So that's how you go about doing that. If you've got an estimate, you want to go about it the easy way and just add a markup to the entire job, but then you've got certain items that you want to get back to cost price, you just add the negative margin to that particular item. And yeah, I've got this little calculator that just makes a symbol to work out markup versus margin, and know what I need to work back from to get me back to a cost price. And I'll just show you in this example here why this works. So again, we've got our insurance costs here, $3,000. We add a 25% markup, gives us $750. So a total price of $37.50. You can see here margin on that 25% markup is 20%, as we'd worked out, and that gives us 80% that's remaining. So so from 100% we take away 20%, there's 80% remaining, and that's why that minus 20% we import that into the line item in Wunderbuild to get the cost to go back to the actual cost price without the markup. So you can see here, I've noted 80% of $37.50 being the original marked up cost is $3,000, which is the original cost price. So we're just taking away that 20%, and that's why it balances back out to the cost price from that original marked up value. Hey, I hope you found that video helpful and it's giving you a better understanding on the difference between markup and margin and how you can apply that in Wunderbuild to zero out your costs when you want to take away the markup from a cost item that's been added to an estimate as a whole. If you want a copy of that calculator, just check out the link in the description and you can download that. And I look forward to the next video. Bye for now.